Hello and welcome to the Kobold Cafe, where we're playing GURPS 4th edition. This is a new game, Bellum Omnium. I am Luke, I will be GMing, and we've got Colin,
Hi, I'm Colin.
we've got Lee,
Hi, I'm Lee.
we've got Kyle,
Hey, I am Kyle.
and we've got Emily.
Hey, I'm Emily.
So, to set the scene, the year is 2153. The day is April 1st. Just over 100 years ago, a meteor similar in size to the one that caused the Chicxulub crater, hideously mispronounced. It killed the dinosaurs. Another one came and killed a lot of the people and just about everything else. 100 years after the event, life is quite different on the side of the planet opposite to where it hit, and life doesn't really exist, or it's only just starting to re-exist on the side where it did. The location was South Pacific, closer to South America than Australia, and it pretty much wiped out that side of the planet, caused a lot of badness for a good 10 years, the first two of which were pretty much entire darkness everywhere at all times. Some people managed to survive. Society had collapsed well before the meteor actually hit, because when people realized they were all going to die, they kind of stopped caring about stuff. And yeah, pre-impact humans had a good 15 to 20 years to come to terms with the fact that they were all going to die. But they didn't all die. Enough survived that there are now humans again. And yeah, you are some such humans in the United Kingdom, in the Midlands, formerly the city of Sheffield. There is a commune of sorts, descendants of survivors of the local area, who persist and now live agricultural lifestyles. The main threat they face are other survivors, cannibals. They don't really eat people to survive. It's very ritualistic. In the aftermath of the impact, new religions formed, and one such religion involves the ritualistic consuming of your enemies' hearts to consume their soul and gain the powers. Much like the meteor consumed the soul of God when it hit the Earth. It's kind of setting the scene. There's a lot to be said for it, so let's not waste too much time on it. At Park Hill Commune, the epicenter, sort of where the militia of this little group that's based in Sheffield still persists, there is an ancient pre-impact housing block, a series of big concrete apartments, some of which have been lived in and maintained since the impact, and is now the centre of operations for this little commune that's a couple of thousand people strong. That's probably not including children, I don't think. You know, people under 16. They've got an active militia of about 100. Most of you are active members, only one who's not is Lee, but you're about to be one.
Cody.
Cody. Played by Lee.
Hi.
Is that enough scene setting? It's night time.
What? Early night or late night?
Late night. So
Or,
around about
sorry,
midnight.
okay.
It's only just flipped over to April 1st. It's the first minute of April 1st, 2153. And quite a few people who were awake have noticed a sound. You can roll hearing straight up to have noticed it and sort of be out of your apartments, maybe on the balconies, having a listen. Oh yeah, it's really strange, almost like
Oh.
gunfire, but fast and consistent.
When they did that update to the sheets a couple days ago, it reset the attributes. It didn't reset points, but now they're all 10.
Oh, that happens sometimes. Nuisance. You have to like toggle a modifier on and off in it,
Mm-hmm.
and it should reset.
Resync.
But it seems like at least all of you lot have noticed it.
Gunfire.
One
That's not
moment.
good.
There we go.
And Kato included. So you were likely getting ready for bed. I don't know, actually. None of your militia members are on active patrol at the minute, nor were you scheduled for the next couple of days. So you're on sort of downtime. But Sean Murphy, you probably just finished active duty or something and have come back and reported. And were spending the night at the commune headquarters. But either
I
way.
imagine most of us go and try and find a view of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the weather's very clear, so you can see lots of stars, the moon, and you can also vision checks as well. Success by 4 on Kato. Yeah, you'd find it.
Also, it's covered in light.
Can somebody move that tree?
It is indeed covered in light. Cody is the only one who doesn't see it. Sean, you see it because it's you've got a bit of a bonus, what with it being lit up in pitch darkness, aside from the moon and stars.
Okay.
It's just lights flying around in the sky at a distance, but it is clearly what's making the noise as well. This chugga 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 chugga. And it is,
Choo-choo.
it's carrying over very loud. And it's coming generally from the northwest. It seems like it must have come in over where Derwent Valley is, and where there's another settlement that's unaffiliated. Those are they would be described as bar lists. So they somewhat worship the meteor that impacted, although they are not cannibals.
The meteor, which was somewhat jokingly named Ball, like how researchers named the asteroid that was for a time viewed as a potential threat of hitting in 2036. They named it Apophis.
Mm-hmm. So it's
They
like
went, oh, what's another scary Stargate character?
more like the devil is called Baal. So researchers were like, oh, this one's gonna come close, let's call it Baal for a joke, and then it did devil the planet. But it were too late by then, the name had stuck and people were eating each other. But it's
Moral of
coming
the
in.
story.
over
Don't
the-
joke about meteors.
It's coming in over the northwest when suddenly people who already made good hearing checks, which I think we're all here, will hear actual gunfire. Difficult to place the source, but it seems to strike the helicopter and it begins losing altitude. Helicopter. You're not sure where it is. Most of you have never seen anything like this before.
Still
Bridie
haven't.
has seen it, but or has heard of them at least, and is able to figure it out. But I think in his mind he pronounces the word a little wrong because he's only ever seen it written.
Cody, you've still not seen it. You're not actually in the apartments. You're getting ready to go out on a hunting trek. Night time's generally a good time to set off sometimes. Maybe.
Fair.
Or you were awake
Well,
at
a
least.
lot of the surviving animals are crepuscular.
Crepuscular.
I figure there's a giant building in the way, though, so he can't actually see anything.
Exactly. You're like in the courtyard or something. The actual layout of Park Hill Flats is a bit like a weird maze of huge tower blocks. Well, huge. About 5 stories in most places. but they laid out in long strips, so most of the gardening and sort of communal outdoor areas are enclosed by the buildings in the commune centre. But aye, the helicopter goes down. It does not continue to fly past. This thing brings itself down until you lose sight of it over a hill. This hill in particular, which is in North Sheffield, you could just see from Park Hill. And it lands somewhere in the wildernessy bit that's above there. Incidentally, in the last month, there have been raider sightings. A militia squad encountered some cannibal raiders who are equipped with at least one vehicle, and they got into a bit of a gunfight. One of the militia people got shot and has since died, and so the whole militia's already on edge about that, and now an helicopter or a flying thing that's very noisy has come in and just crashed right there, and you've all seen it happen firsthand.
Okay, well, Righty runs into his room and kind of grabs his go pack and walks stiffly towards the office of the militia leader.
As you pick up your go pack and turn around, at your door already is a fellow officer in the militia, Abraham Warham. Excuse me. He's quite young, but he's like a genius, very skilled tactician, super good shot with an heirloom rifle, and he's appeared at your door. He's like, you saw all that, yeah, righty.
Yeah, I saw it. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I know where it went down.
What would it?
They're called helicopters. It's a pre-impact flying machine.
Like a plane.
Like a plane, but they can go up and down without going forward, kind of like a you guys have dragonflies over there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Kind of like a dragonfly instead of a bird.
He frowns. What the fuck? Alright. Come on, we'll see Bill. Bill Tunn, being the chief of the militia, who is also awake and has just gone back into his sort of quarters when you head on in. He looks at you and says, we need to check that out.
Agreed.
I want one of you two to go and take a team. In fact, no, I want Righty, you're going.
Righty will just kind of like give a sideways glance, and at his I guess they're peers, and then nod. Yes, sir. Is there a squad ready to go?
No, not at minute. He's probably been shot down by that gang that got Joe. Either them or that group that just came from Derwent Valley. So you did have traders here a couple of days ago. Out of character note. From the other large settlement, which is just off the west of this map. And they left today, or yesterday afternoon. So it could have been them, but presumably it's the raiders. We need to know what's going on there. If anyone's survived that, bring them in alive, yeah?
Of course. I'll see who's around.
Uh,
There were several people that were startled by the sound, so I should be able to
I think
pull a group
half
together.
commune's awake. Maybe rest waking up right now, yeah. Be quick. Take quick people. And then Abraham, like, maybe take Kato? Bill sort of raises an eyebrow.
Is that in order, sir?
Bill didn't say it, Abraham said it.
Oh, okay.
But Bill says, up to you. Just get it done. I want you gone. Now. 10 minutes. And Abraham just says, give her a chance, honestly. You'll see. And she's awake.
You owe me.
And he points down, like at a balcony. The shape of the building is almost in like a C from above. And so you've walked out onto the balcony on the 5th floor, and you can see down around the corner the balcony on the 3rd floor where Kato is and has been watching. Perhaps stood we Connor Murphy and
Picture
Sean
of this
Murphy
unit
also.
posted in Discord.
So yeah, Sean, you woke up and came out to have a look, didn't you? Sean Murphy?
Yeah,
Kyle?
I think Sean is like already in the process of repacking his like minimal amount of stuff.
Okay, so your brother Connor was probably stood next to you watching, and he has now reappeared at the door to your unit. And he's like, oh, so you are setting off then, are you? No wasting time.
Well, if we're gonna do this, we might as well make sure it's done fucking right.
Ah, fuck that, brother, I don't know. Never seen anything like that.
No, that's part of why I wanna fucking go.
Shakes his head. Turns
Besides,
around. No, go on.
besides, I've seen that there's a lot of raiders out there these days, and if these people are gonna survive, they're gonna need somebody who knows what the fuck they're doing.
I'm sure they're putting a team together already, brother.
Oh, I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are.
And if you're worried about raiders. And then he turns around and looks, and righty, so you've probably made your way down some steps, coming across the first people that you want to take, potentially. The Kato that's been suggested by Abraham is right there outside the apartment of a particular Irish scout that you also know is, well, you see him appearing with a packed bag.
Is that your go bag?
Go bag, personal bag. It's kind of got everything I fucking own in here.
Excellent. With me. And he'll hobble in. Is the door open?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Connor had it
Ooh,
open.
now we can switch to that map.
We should switch to that map, yeah.
The colored dots indicate which stairs connect to which, although a couple of them are now missing.
Whoops. But essentially, yeah, it'd be there, and whoops, you've got your own token.
Oh, wrong side.
Yeah.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. So you're
Oh,
not actually here,
right,
you'd
this
be...
is all confusing. We should be on the 2nd floor. The way these apartments are laid out is confusing. There's this balcony, and that's where you enter them.
So is that the ground floor outside there?
No,
Okay.
the balcony is
Oh, right,
raised.
you're talking about There, yeah. Connor Murphy. Sean Murphy. So let's just say in here it's, probably separated out into smaller barracks areas with screens and what have you. And Connor essentially says, well, I'm not going to stop you, brother. I ain't going for that. Good choice there, righty.
Yeah, wouldn't want to have to fucking rescue you again.
Gato, do you have a go bag?
Pretty much. I can be ready to go right now.
Okay, get ready to go right now. And he'll turn, and I assume that Cody is just kind of hanging out there. Or...
Yeah, if you look down, maybe off the balcony, you can see him. Cody, you've probably noticed this conversation happening just above you.
Yeah, I think Cody's still trying to get a look at what happened. So he started looking around.
Then Righty whistles sharply from the balcony above.
Hey, you guys see what happened?
Is that your rifle?
Yeah?
Get a bag. We're leaving in 2 minutes. And he starts hobbling towards the stairs.
You've got orders.
It takes a few beats, but then he heads back to pack. Oh shit.
Easy enough. Everyone grabs gear that they take in.
So with the latest sheet update, they added support for putting items in other items.
Ooh.
Very cool.
Just visual. Oh, no, more than just visually. If you toggle the item, everything else toggles.
Cool. Well. Aye, indeed. You gather up. So, the terrain between here and there is pretty much woodlandy and ruinous. There's lots of leftover small brick buildings and walls and things that have been grown into and grown over. You can kind of tell where roads used to be in some places, but not for the most part. Only because they're in between rows of ruined terraced houses that, in turn, you can barely tell are actually houses or ever were because they're just covered in viney things, trees growing up out middle of them. Layer of soil over, the carpets inside in every room. Upstairs is mostly fallen down, although not entirely. The distance is between 3 and 4 kilometers away, you reckon? Your best bets. We should take some kind of navigation check, cartography check, area knowledge check.
Let's do it like this.
Kevin. Okay, that's a broad area, but yeah, you can extrapolate to this location from that easy enough.
Okay. Murphy, find us a track north. Preferably one that'll get us a hilltop view of the area so we can figure out where the crash site is.
It'd be heavily forested, right?
decently forested, yeah. Pretty much, there's already big groups of trees and woodland on these hills, and that would have all spread out now, so it's pretty much this entire hill area here is wooded, although some bits are sparser than others in there.
All right, Murphy will start looking for a trail.
It seems like, yeah, you have no issues setting off north. Anyone got navigation land?
Oh, right. That one's probably...
I can attempt it.
Kato's good enough, and Sean also good enough. You keep yourselves on track. It's probably gonna be about a 3-hour walk. No, you can get to the top of this hill here in about 2 hours.
Yeah, okay. Once we get there, I think we'll come up with a longer term plan.
On the way there,
On the way there, yes.
Otto will walk up next to Cody. I saw you preparing to go hunting when this happened.
Yeah, good timing, I guess. So, do you know what all's going on?
No.
Yeah, they didn't tell me either.
There's a big golden retriever trotting along alongside you. You know the dog, Jake. You've met it before. Very well trained.
So, did you hear the gunshots?
Yes. Ooh, her IQ is the same as her DX, so treat this as IQ base. She does not identify the types of guns.
No, just generic loud cracks.
So she'll just leave it at the yes that she gave.
So, there's definitely an awkward pause as Cody's expecting a follow up, but then it doesn't come.
What's your marching order like? And what's your behaviour like? Seems like you're just generally walking on the trail. Not much concern at the minute. I imagine people are being passively perceptive of things, though.
I honestly think Sean's doing his best to keep everybody, out of raider sight.
Okay. You're leading, though, generally.
Yeah, Sean's probably on point.
Radio.
Did I give a soldier, modified by her history as also a cannibal soldier, to be on the lookout specifically for places that might be good to attack from?
Yeah, absolutely. So you do spot several places that it would indeed be good to attack from as you make your way towards the hill. I've not made myself my macros that just roll me 3 secret CD, 3 secret D6. Need to do that. Need public one as well. In bar, and add another one. Sorry about that. Just test them both. Everyone see the 12?
I don't
No.
know, the 12.
Everyone see the 8?
Yes.
I
Perfect. Okay, yeah. You make it to the top of the hill, or sort of on your way towards the top of the hill. Anyone got a closer range area knowledge that I've not seen?
Mine's pretty wide.
You've
Yeah.
previously seen my Antwerp, so here's my Sheffield.
Oh wow. So you'd feel like you'd want to be a bit sneakier as you get to the top of this hill. There is some sparser sections. There was once an old road that is still kind of visible because of the way it's lined by, or it was lined by steep brick walls all the way down a long hill that goes down into Firth Park. It's quite straight, and there's
Let's slow down. Go carefully.
Mhm. You sort of get to the crest and come round through the woods, and then get to where you can have a good view into the valley. Give me vision checks, please.
I was gonna throw binoculars. They must have been too expensive.
I'm sure
I've got
someone.
Yeah, the
binoculars.
optics are pretty expensive.
I have binoculars.
You make it out. Something is on fire. Oh wow, Cody, you make it out great.
Yeah, Luke, I've got 4x binoculars too. That's an unmodified roll.
Okay, so you can even try and take a closer look. Probably it is like around 2 kilometers away. In fact, we should look at the speed range table and see. I think you all make it though, especially that crit makes it. There is the slightest clearing on a hill, just on the other side of this little bit of a valley, and you can see flickering light like a fire in the middle of that small clearing.
-18 for 2 kilometers,
Ow.
but then modified up by being bright in the middle of darkness
Bright in the middle
and
of
being
darkness.
large.
In plain sight, size modifier.
Like what? Says modifier 5, 4, 5, 10, 15 meters.
Yeah.
So area. Yep, so now we're only at -10. Really bright thing in the darkness.
At least another +5, probably. And I suppose it's maybe not technically in plain sight, so you probably don't get that +10 bonus. But you would see the smoke rising.
Okay,
And the smoke would be obscuring stars.
we're not gonna be the only ones heading towards that thing. So once we get about halfway there, let's try and keep as quiet as possible while still making good time. I don't think we need to worry about traps, given that I don't think anybody's going to take the time to set anything up. But we're not going to be alone once we get to that wreck. Assume that we won't be alone once we get to the wreck. So Murphy, take us in a way, or in an area that we're going to have cover for as long as possible. Any questions?
Nah.
Give us a tactics or strategy roll, please.
What do we think it is?
Tactics.
You reckon your best bet might be to come from the north, potentially? You'd have much more tree cover if you came from the north, and also it seems like it's crashed at the bottom of a little bit of a, hill. Steeper hill.
To give us some height.
Some height. Maybe you could see down at what were happening there.
Okay.
Well,
then I'll instruct Murphy. Go ahead.
A question was asked.
Okay, well, obviously it was missed.
Repeat the question, please.
Lee? Lee?
Uh, Sure. Could you repeat it? Or...
What did Cody have a question?
Cody asked what we think it is, and
Mm.
Oh,
Rady's the only one
assume,
who definitely knows.
I
Yeah.
assume everybody just ignored him. Like, that's a thing that
It could
happens.
have happened, but maybe you ask again at this point as Righty's explaining that he'd like to come round from the north.
They're called helicopters. Flying machine from before the impact.
Oh, neat. Obviously
be-
doesn't fully understand.
Yeah. If anybody still has that kind of vehicle, then it's going to be important for us to find out why, how, who they are.
You hear a loud crack. Well, you see a flash down at the crash site that you're looking at in the distance, and then you hear a loud crack ring out from across the valley. Well, not loud at all, more like a... But clearly someone just shot a gun down there.
Oh,
All right,
crap.
let's get a move on.
Yeah, we need to hurry. Maybe we should go more direct?
It'd be
No,
quicker.
not if they're firing. I'd want to walk directly into it.
Well, if we're lucky, that would actually take us up behind whoever is shooting, assuming they're shooting at the... You know what? No, if they're shooting towards or away from the wreck, then if we head more directly, we might be able to come up behind. Nope. Take us in the tactically advantageous way. But let's try and move as quick as possible.
Alright, has everyone got hiking or soldier?
No.
He doesn't.
You must have soldier,
You certainly
surely.
should, yeah. See, I had four points and I just dumped
Yeah,
them into
I were meant
things
to also remind you, and I never did, of certain things.
Yeah.
Soldier's one of them that I would have reminded you of.
Okay, well then, that is an easy addition.
Yeah, you can definitely keep up pace, people, so far. Seems like Connor not so much, but perhaps
Yeah, probably not me either.
roll just HT if you've not got him.
So, is this to... I mean, what pace is this to maintain?
That's a good point.
Like I don't necessarily want to push myself faster if people are slower.
It would be with his gear. He's a whopping 3.
Kato will head out at 5. She's not the best at following orders, and she's not gonna slow herself down for someone with a prosthetic. He's a bit of a dick.
Rudeness. Well, Connor, likewise, you're keeping up pace. You're probably going to notice... not Connor,
Is that
Sean.
Cody or Sean?
Sean, I meant, sorry. Yeah, Sean, you noticed that... Or, no, I assume everyone's actually keeping up in that case, so... Perhaps just have Cody, you be 1 FP down, please, and also... Kevin, you be 1 FP down, given you're only moving at 3.
Okay. In general, is this going to be a thing that we check while doing cross-country movement?
Potentially, but we should
If so, I want to make sure I
yeah,
purchase it.
This isn't the best way to do it, most likely. Should probably really just do it as some kind of group thing. I'm certain there's rules for it somewhere. But generally, if you move quickly and are willing to let yourselves be down an FP when you're sort of getting into position that you'll start being stealthy, then it's going to take you about another hour to cross over to there, given the terrain. It's not so bad on the downhill, but then on the way back up and coming around.
Well, if there are people moving obviously quicker, who else is on the slower side? I doubt anybody's as slow as me, but
Actually, yeah, it was mostly just because Kevin were high. Not Kevin. Cody got a bad soldier check.
okay. Seeing that and knowing that he's not as spry as the other two, we're gonna modify things just a little bit, and Righty and Cody will take a more direct path. Like once they get to this-ish area and he sees the speed difference, and
Okay.
so we'll be coming towards the wreck from like 90-degree angles. So one group from two of us from the west and two of us from the north.
Cool. I like it. Not sure what kind of checks I want. I think I just want to make a GM check or two. Okay, yeah, so just before you split up, you have another observe of the place. Have people actually got observation?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So,
I've got binoculars too, so
yeah, there's likely a bonus to be
Why not?
gained from... They've definitely got a vehicle. It's sort of like a big flatbeddy looking thing. It's running even. You can pick up the sound of its engine chugging away in the distance. And you've managed to make out that the helicopter was pretty badly on fire, and they've been shoveling soil onto it to pour it out. You're not sure, but they might have a captive. And that's sort of what you can make out as you split up. People who are coming round from the north, you're likely to lose sight of them. So that'd be Sean and Kato. Whereas Cody and Righty will be able to mostly keep their eyes on the situation as you approach. Stealth checks?
Seems appropriate.
You've technically got like +5s to these as well, because there's plenty of places to hide and it's dark and shadowy. And you're all doing great.
So Cody will tell the doggo to wait when we start doing the stealth stuff. Stay.
Okay. Dog will indeed stay. How far away from the general... I've got a map set up. There's no people on it yet. But it'll kind of give you an idea of what you're dealing with, I think. It's not a perfect... Oh, it's still squares and everything. Disgraceful.
Squares. Gross.
Right?
You are clearly not there.
So, it's on a hill. And this is kind of the sparsest area of trees around. From the edge of this map, it's much denser in every direction. And the hill itself goes down to the south. So presumably Sean and Carter will be coming from the north up here, Whereas you attempt to make it in here, but you wouldn't be that close quite yet. I should probably add another tree or two. Oh, not when I'm in roller mode. Especially around the edges.
So is this which side of this bit is higher?
So your side, the north side, is higher. By about
Okay.
6 meters. Rightio. I think we do need a quick break, just because I'm absolutely busting. So we'll be right back in 5 minutes while we get this figured out. We are back, and you're approaching on this scene. You're probably not quite close enough to actually be on the map right yet, though. I don't know if you've managed to stay in touch with each other, or if you've got a signal for each other that might not alert the cannibals to your presence. They are... You made good observation checks earlier. Give me observation checks again. Just one person from each group, please. Whoever's better.
Lee, what's your observation?
It's like 12.
Okay.
Hunter, not cafe stalker.
Sean, what's your observation?
Luke, would you check it? I'm actually away from the computer.
No worries. Observation at 12. Rolling it. Well. Yeah, you make out that there seems to be 5 raiders here, along with this truck of theirs. They're all pretty pleased. They're all discussing this catch. They have got a living person who was on board the helicopter. There is also a dead person that they've pulled out of the helicopter who looks to have burnt a bit. It is still on fire in a few places, but they've managed to put out the most of it by shoveling soil on, wet mud. They've kind of paused doing that at the minute, and they're all just cheering and laughing and generally talking about how they're going to eat this guy's heart. But there also maybe seems to be a bit of a discussion that they should probably take him back to camp, actually. But then this one guy in particular... Well, I don't know if you're picking up all this conversation, actually. So, you know. What's your general plan? After you got this close?
So I imagine that there is some sort of a signal that the militia uses, since I imagine that they don't have communications like all
No,
the
yeah,
time.
there's no handheld radios.
Yeah, so I don't know if there's like a an animal call or something, but that seems like it would be important to have.
It does, doesn't it? Perhaps just a soldier check from each group.
I do not have soldier.
I have not been in the field long enough. Okay, so
When you do your signal, the raiders do all shut up. Kind of look over in your direction. Give me stealth checks, please. Just to generally see how good you were approaching over there. You probably are more than 20 meters away as well.
I think in this particular instance, Sean has actually got his rifle out and he's been aiming at one of these guys holding the prisoners.
So you think you two would both approach right to the edge?
Yeah, They can't really see us if we stay low to the ground.
And correct, they're like in a bright area and you're in a dark area. And okay, cool. So you
And we're on a slope thing.
Mhm.
Above a slope.
With your stealth checks, yeah, I'm happy for you to both have approached up there. They don't seem to have looked up, but when Righty does his botched call, a couple of them do indeed look over. What are the ones?
What were we instructed to do on the call?
Well, it was more like a signal of being in position,
Okay.
because you guys started getting ahead of us, and so I don't think we necessarily planned for this particular instance.
Just it's a basic we're ready type thing.
Yeah. So I think Righty will whisper to Cody, "What's the range like on that thing?"
Long. 20 yards is no problem. 50 yards is probably fine.
So one of them with a crossbow has walked out away from the kneeling person there. He kind of just aims it casually with one hand westwards-ish and calls, "Who's there? Anyone? Show yourselves, cowards."
And I'm not finding a disadvantage.
One of them back here shouts like, "It were a bird."
Kato fires.
Nice.
She will have aimed at him and stuff, because he was obviously walking. So he's in the minus... Oh wait, no. He's in the darker area.
Aim at one of the brighter people.
Yeah, she'll aim at this dude.
What is the range that we're at on the left? On the western side?
Whoops, I almost moved in then.
Probably a lot of bushes there, right?
And you could have definitely stayed farther back too.
I mean, I think he explicitly said that we are further back than that.
Yeah, but probably not more than about 40 meters. You could have
Okay.
got this close, I think. Cody could have got this close. And yeah, it's not like it's low grass. It's quite long grass everywhere, and there are bushes everywhere as well, that it's super easy to conceal yourself behind. So yeah, I'd say
Even roll on her impulsive attack that accidentally starts the fight.
Yeah, Luke, I don't know if you heard, but
you were aiming.
I was aiming, braced, all that too.
Wow.
Although I did.
That was at this guy. Oh, right, braced as well, so that's against the 16.
And you go for the guy who stepped forward and is holding that crossbow there, Archie. Archie.
Archie?
Sean. Oh my god, I'm gonna call you everything before the end of this game.
-6 +3.
Oh, 1d6 torso shot. Nope.
I'll roll damage because there's no way he anticipated that.
Correct.
The sheet's too busy now in the combat section.
There is a lot going on there now.
Yeah, it confused me when I tried to look the other day.
So this is gonna be torso for Sean. And then
Oh, one sec.
Luke, you'll want to
No.
use the
Yep, I'm just being wrangled
program,
by my
not the
father.
website.
My father-in-law just got back with shopping, so we need like 5-minute break. I'll be as quick as I can.
Yep.
Okay.
We'll be right back. We're back. Whoops. Impromptu break. We've got about an hour left in us. But sure, you've come upon the site of the crashed helicopter. The group of cannibals have managed to get one of them out. Looks like they're alive, although extremely injured. And They kind of heard you approaching a little bit, the people to the west, not the group to the north, though. They turned and called out into the darkness, "Oi, anyone there?" And Kato unleashes a crossbow bolt. Sean likewise shoots up a dude. So, Winchester hits, but not vitals. Let's have a look. Let's resolve this crossbow first. 7 damage. His armor does 0 versus impaling, unfortunately, so he's taken the full 7 impaling to the torso. And he's got to roll his HT versus pain. That is a success. He's not already wounded. He needs to roll HT for knockdown and stun. That is a failure, so he's knocked down and stunned. But he didn't fail by 5 or more. Oof, wound severity 1. Needs to roll HT to remain conscious also. He loses consciousness, which is kind of what you'd expect when you get shot in the chest with a crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Down he goes. And guy who just got shot by a bullet, have we had damage for that yet?
Wow, that was
By
a terrible fucking roll.
large piercing.
Yeah, yikes.
Piercing plus hit location torso, correct?
Torso, yeah.
He's also got a roll for the pain. He does also succeed. Not already wounded. Also got a roll for knockdown and stunning. Fails that. Not by 5 or more though. And his wound severity is only -1, but he has got half move and dodge. Oh, I need to mark severities. And pain penalties. Ah, oh, chill out, people. Children play here. Sorry, car being noisy.
I can hear it.
-1 for the severity. -4 for pain. And he also fell over, knocked down and stunned. He just got shot in the chest, you know? Ow. And with that, perhaps we should get turn order up.
Wise.
I'm not going to be adding the helicopter passenger to the turn order. Still says Grotto Og a lot.
No character found for selected.
Huh.
That's rude.
Same.
Let me adjust your tokens. Cody. Cody should work now. Righty should work now. I'm not sure we particularly need a turn counter.
No.
Let's see.
I feel like however this fight goes, it's gonna be quick.
Oh, almost definitely. Well, we've got less than an hour until I need to leave, so let's make it quick. Grotto.
Well, I mean in the way of seconds, but
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. This is probably going to be less than, almost definitely going to be less than 10 seconds. Aye, you're up, Grotto. Sean.
Sean is gonna. You know what? Sean's gonna move. Sean doesn't want to be where the shot just rang out from.
Were you in a kneeling position or just a crouching position?
Oh, he was in a kneeling position.
Oh, okay. Just a one move then is all you'd be able to take if you move into a crouch.
Yes.
But You could technically start aiming at someone, but then you'd lose your aim if you had to move more than one in the future and if you change your position. So yeah, Cody.
No, I think Sean let a shot ring out and doesn't want to be in the spot that they're going to be looking for it.
Yeah, very annoyingly, he was right next to Kato, who had a silent weapon. Dickhead.
Just reveal Kato's position and move on.
Amazing. Cody's going to be aiming at the far one from him, and start moving forward, but at a slow pace because aiming.
Okay. Are you gonna do this? Try and be hidden as well.
Yeah. So I suppose I should give you a stealth.
Correct. Very nice. Kato.
She'll fail it anyways. And glancing at Sean. You cancer.
You went a bit quiet there. Sorry.
You cancer. Cancer's a bad thing to say in Dutch.
You got shouted at.
And she'll start reloading.
Righty.
Just gonna try and do it somewhat quietly.
Stealth will be at -5 if you're moving more than one. So that looks
Well,
like
then I'm not very
failure,
stealthy.
failure by 2. You've still got like darkness penalties on your side and what have you. Okay, so this one here has got a rifle. He steps forward and raises it up and sort of looks in your direction and then maybe starts aiming at you. You might have been spotted, Cody. These two here were kind of like leaning against shovels. They throw them down, and one of them throws it down, runs over to the car, goes into a crouch at the side of it. And this one here is going to actually run towards the hot, burny helicopter. And he shouts out, "Up, you idiot!" Also goes into a crouch. Guy on his knees makes his first motion that you've seen and like kind of raises his head up. Sean. Oh, I forgot to roll the HT for the one that were knocked down and stunned. He's still knocked down and stunned. Sean.
Sean just keeps moving.
Keeps moving. Cody.
Cody regrets not asking for what people were armed with before declaring his aim.
I'll let you change to a guy with a gun.
I would love to be aiming at a guy with a gun.
Guy with a gun I've just marked in what I think is green.
All right. I
It
think
is.
we're. What was that?
It is, I think was the answer.
Fair. Cool. Cody will attempt to. What the hell?
Combat tab being weird.
Very weird. I just refreshed my page
Oh dear.
and it completely messed up my stuff.
Well, that's rude. I need to be right back. I'm just going to mute myself on stream. Darkness penalty is -4 while you figure out the other stuff. I'll just be 1 second.
No worries. Center of mass. This includes the pacifism penalty.
Okay. You don't need to roll will first.
Do you? Let me check.
Clearly, we've got a couple of killers amongst us at least. No hesitation.
You cannot aim.
You need to.
Nothing about will, though.
Mm-hmm.
You can't aim.
Which is not the same thing as a random location. It means you aim at the target. Right?
Yeah, it means like spending time pointing at them.
Oh.
Get the aim bonus.
Oh. Okay, fair enough. Alright, then without the aim.
Brutal.
I did not put that together. I was thinking targeted locations, not aim. Very good call.
Feel free to look into that. That is, yeah, I don't
Targeting locations was brought in with expanded on in martial arts, whereas pacifism was included in the basic set. And it uses the term aim.
That is a reasonable explanation for why I'm wrong, but not helpful. Alright, we'll try
I feel
for the
like
best.
you should be able to roll will to aim, but maybe not.
Oh, no, it's totally reasonable.
I'll need to look into it. Looking into it.
He
Yes.
takes a shot and misses.
Yep. The title of the macro goes a long way to explaining the reason for the miss. Kato, still reloading?
Finishes drawing, yep.
Righty.
Crouching down and pulling a grenade off his belt.
Koi. Generic cannibal warriors. So let's first have a look at the one who thought he saw something over here.
I mean, he did just have a muzzle flash.
That too.
Though he thought it was a putty tat.
Alright. Let's see. Yeah, he's going to point his gun and fire a shot off in your direction, Cody. That is a miss, though, because I was not considering darkness penalties in my head. No, wait, were I? Yeah, no, I think he also needed to roll an 8. No. He needed a 10, potentially a hit. Against Cody, oh god. No, wait, 22 yards? No.
-7 plus
-7,
-4
not
-11
-6.
plus aim.
Yep. No, he needed a 9. Phew.
Oh, right, I forgot that I was at a +1 because of my very, very, very slight ability to see better.
So he does fire a shot off in your direction, but then he crouches and takes a step back towards the truck.
That's concerning.
But yeah, you hear a whistle. Guy attempting to recover from knockdown and stun fails. This guy is going to continue moving around the truck. This guy is going to take a step back and draw a big knife he's got. Not that it's going to help him much in this situation, he doesn't think. Sean.
Okay, so is this like a vertical drop or is this just a steep hill?
Practically vertical.
Practically vertical.
It's
Okay.
like 3 meters
Over
down from
50% gradient.
Correct.
Sean continues running.
Cody. I also didn't include penalties for you being crouched if you are at all, Cody.
I don't know that he was. Like, we weren't planning on shooting. We were planning on continuing to sneak forward.
Fair enough.
I am going to assume, though, that when we started the stealth part of this mission, we dropped our backpacks and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's fine. You absolutely could have left anything you wanted with your dog.
Alright, Cody's gonna book it and try to take some cover behind this tree,
Roger
which
that.
I'm assuming there's going to be a trunk towards the middle.
Correct. You can indeed gain full cover from the fatness of the tree. Kato.
And let's see, the next step is grabbing a bolt
Righty, you're holding a
and
grenade.
placing it.
Oh, I'm placing
Is
it.
fast draw.
Righty touches the fuse of his grenade to a coil of burning slow match on his belt.
I'll allow it this time, but next time let me know when you're lighting your slow match.
That's fair.
Grenade fuse lit. How long are them fuses generally?
3 to 5 seconds. So lighting it
Fewer
is
than you're
actually like
expecting.
the the ready maneuver.
Koi.
Next time you should roll that hidden.
Yeah, I definitely should. I should also do it like -1, and then if it's 0, that's pretty hilarious. that's
There is a malfunction on the grenade
yeah, no, that's
of 14, so
that's too rude a thing to do. Let that happen when you roll to throw it. But it's lit. Yeah,
that's it.
that's it. So, this one with a gun here is now gonna run around the side of the truck. There we go, lovely. Stays in a crouch. This one takes a step and then starts climbing up into the back of the truck. This one here is then gonna take a sprint maneuver. Towards the truck, likewise. And like, kind of like hits it running against the side. And HT for the one that's knocked down and stunned. He recovers from stun, but he's in severe pain. Sean.
Sean will aim at that guy.
The guy that just ran to the side of the truck. I will
Yeah.
mark him pink. Cody.
We're gonna pop around the tree and shoot at my old friend Green. Closer.
Closer. Absolutely closer. Almost definitely hits the truck. Ping. He's like, shit! Kato.
I assume thanks to the elevation difference, she can see part of that guy, right?
Correct. Like the top half.
Yeah, she'll aim at him.
Aim. Righty. Grenade in hand.
All right, we are hucking it between these two guys somewhere. Oh, that is not the right type. Somewhere hereabouts. In fact, I have to target a thing, so we're aiming it right here.
That hex. Roger
That hex. All right, so then we are using the grenade skill because it's a malfunction of 14 or higher. Does not malfunction and lands right where I want it to.
Perfect. Where were that again? Cool. I should have put a timer on. I should have marked the turn order.
That's 1.
Yep. Alright, so generic cannibal warriors. This guy who just got shot at, he's actually gonna say, "Fuck!" and he throws the rifle into the truck bed. Turns around and runs back to his prisoner. This guy opens the truck door, and this guy at the back steps forward and like reaches down to grab the rifle that just got thrown to him. He gets a bit more cover, but you can still see him, and you keep your aim, Kato. Guy who recovered from stun. Does he notice a grenade landing next to him? Yeah, he does. Oh,
That doesn't help him at all, though.
no. Gets to his knees very painfully.
Extra effort.
Starts shuffling back. Yep, using extra effort.
His buddy is right next to the grenade too.
Oh yeah, his buddy is right next to the grenade too.
How much could a cannibal care for his buddy?
In this instance, he cares more for staying alive, so he uses extra effort to move 2 away.
Bigot. We have just as complex lives as you.
Not for long.
Not for long. Oh, cannibal
Very
genocide.
hearty.
That's where the soul is. Sean.
Okay, important question. When Pink opened the truck door,
Mm-hmm.
did the cab have a cab light that turned on?
Not a working one, no.
Not a working one. Okay.
Probably would have burned out long ago.
I mean,
they would
it
have
was a
removed it,
valid
probably.
question. It was a valid question.
Mm-hmm. There's no headlights
okay.
on the truck for a reason. Maybe they put candles in there, I don't know.
I mean,
Pedal powered.
it was a thought. It was just a thought.
I don't know how hard to make light bulbs would be, you know?
Ooh.
Doable.
Okay. Minus 4 plus 3 is my. Okay, so this is ooh. I don't like these odds. Continue aiming.
Continue aiming. Cody. Sorry.
And actually continue aiming, but take 1 step closer to the edge, because I'm about to break.
Alright.
Nice. Yeah, I'm not super confident in my ability to hit this guy without hitting the prisoner. What's up? What's going on with the prisoner?
So the prisoner is kneeling, bound with the hands behind the back, and sort of in that ready to be executed pose almost.
Do they appear to be conscious?
They do appear to be very vaguely conscious. They clearly not on
Hogtied?
pain. Kind of hogtied, yeah.
Also, don't Google that.
Doy. But yeah, kneeling up. Beat up. No, they wouldn't be wearing a helmet at the minute. In fact, probably the guy who had the gun is wearing a helmet at the minute, though. That looks weird. Probably not seen one like it before.
If it covers his face, that's hugely important.
It doesn't cover his face.
Alright. Good. I think Cody's gonna continue advancing then.
Great. You step out, you see this guy crawling away from the grenade. He got shot. He's holding his chest as he crawls.
Cody's more worried about people that are currently armed that might be shooting at him.
That's very fair. You would be able to see that they mostly seem to be concerned with up on the top of the cliff.
That was the point of throwing the grenade on the west side.
Did I skip
Good
someone?
call.
No. Kato.
Kato aims.
Aims. Righty. How many seconds on that grenade? Like 1 left. Gonna blow up next turn.
Sure, let's get a couple more.
Stand up and start moving forward again.
Roger that. Cannibal warriors. Okay, so this guy. Oh, I forgot he's at half move and dodge as well. Gonna continue using extra effort though. And he's gonna go to standing, and he is gonna take a step forward, but he can't also ready his knife on this turn. Well, not standing, crouching. Other ones. Okay, so this one grapples the prisoner. This one readies the gun and moves in behind the cab a little bit. This one starts climbing into the cab. That one's unconscious. Sean.
Alright, I think Sean's gonna take that shot now. This is at a grand total of a -5. And a miss.
Oof. Hits the truck. Ping.
I think he misses and winces, but not because of anything other than just wasting a bullet. Oh god, I hate wasting bullets.
Yeah, expensive.
Do you know how much they cost? They have to be shipped all the way from England.
That bullet that you're about to fire was made by a British worker on full wages. Cody.
I think we're gonna finish our run to that tree and then see if we can do something about that guy. Not the one that's grappling, because I can't do shit about that. The one that's in the cab.
Okay. Don't care about this guy who's limping away, clutching his chest.
I mean, I care about him, but
You're not about to engage him. Gotcha.
yeah, not enough to actually. Yeah, actually, how much of the cab can I see from there?
Most of it. I mean, it's not even got windows on it. Obviously, those smashed a long time ago. So it's got windows, but they're wide open. So it's only a -2 for cover to shoot into him.
I mean, I'm thinking more like,
You mean the bed?
could I take out the steering wheel, for example?
Oh, yeah, you could shoot the steering wheel for sure.
All right, then
You could aim at
Yeah.
the steering wheel.
we're gonna start aiming for the steering wheel.
Okay, yeah. You can't kill a human, but you can kill a truck. You've got no feelings towards a truck.
I mean, I do have feeling towards the truck. Like, I'm gonna feel bad about
Oh wait,
this.
why am I even doing Cody? Weren't it Kato's turn? Yeah.
Yes.
You ran to a tree and will aim at a steering wheel on your next turn.
Wait,
Kato.
what? No. No, it was Cody's turn, and then you
And then
clicked next, and then you clicked
And
next.
then I click next. Now it's Kato.
Yes. You will aim.
Continue aiming. Righty.
All right, grenade goes off this turn.
Boom. 9.
All right.
Crushing.
Well, not really. So that's for this guy. So divide that by. So 3 crushing damage to that guy, and then. Oh, well, that one's better.
You deal 1 for all of it, isn't it?
Yeah, it might just be the first
Yeah,
amount.
it's fragmentation damage that's separate for each person.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then 9 divided by 3 times 5 is 15 is not going to be an appreciable amount of damage
No.
for any of the rest of these people.
But this guy takes 3 crushing damage at least, large
Oh.
area.
But everyone in 15 meters is attacked by the fragmentation, which has a skill of 15.
That could matter.
So starting from the closest.
Starting
I was
from
wondering why you ran towards it.
starting from the closest. Guy on the
And
ground,
then-
hit.
Guy stumbling away blindly.
Guy stumbling away blindly. You're supposed to include range penalties, I'm certain. That still hits for
Oh,
sure.
I am. Yeah.
I don't think you include darkness penalties.
No, shrapnel is blind.
So what's the distance there? 5?
uh,
-2.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that one's definitely gonna hit.
so that
Okay.
one's gonna hit. I should mark them
Let's
as
go
they
ahead.
get hit.
Yeah.
Red means you're about to get shrapnelled.
Okay, we'll do the prisoner next.
Prisoner next. He's
Uh,
kneeling, so there's like a, or is that -2?
Yes, -2 range target.
And range is 6.
Oh, the other guy's also -2, but doesn't matter. Crouching is -2.
Mm-hmm.
So -5 total.
Woo.
That misses. And the other guy is
Also
just
-5.
-3. -5 still. Okay.
Crouching counts the same as kneeling.
Oh, you get him. Nice.
Yeah.
Mark him.
And then I don't.
I should take his green away. You don't need that green anymore. And then for these guys, does crouching and cover stack?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. So -4.
Also, they've got a lot of cover.
-4 to both of them, really. At least.
It is automatic if they. Okay. Only 3 modders apply. The range modifier for the distance, the modifier for the posture, and the size modifier.
Okay, so
Cover should surely matter, right?
you'd think so.
Well, that'll.
Maybe cover just provides DR.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So yeah, just the -2s for postures, because sitting as well.
-2 for postures and the range, which is 11 to the guy in the bed and functionally 11 for the other guy. And 11 yards is
-5.
-5, so 7 on both of these.
Wow.
Okay.
So the one
Pink is also red.
this is brutal.
Great.
Right.
We're not done.
We're not done?
Nope, I've got some coming my way as well.
Oh, you do.
Everyone except Kato does. Because it's 5 meters per die of damage.
Yeah, it is.
Is it 3D shrapnel?
But no, it's
Yep,
1D
it's
shrapnel.
3d6.
It's 3D for the grenade. It's
Oh,
1D for the shrapnel.
right. Never mind. Then only anyone within 5 meters.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
So those guys
Yeah,
shouldn't have even
Jesus,
been resolved.
okay.
Lol.
I was confused by the second damage
we'll
roll.
be better at that next time.
Yeah, we will do better at that next time.
Okay. So I'm only rolling damage on the 2 guys I originally intended to hit.
Yeah.
Much better.
Much better. Lol.
Yeah. So it's the like concussive force of the grenade that goes farther. Okay. So what do I need? Two shrapnel damages. Close guy, farther guy, of course.
So farther guy that don't get through is DR really, but closer guy that's gonna be brutal. So 5 cutting.
Oh wait. Which one was closer guy? 7 and 6 for the second guy. Yeah. So actually 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
What?
So he gets hit with 2 more. So actually, let's do this. 5, 1, and 5 to the closer guy. And the farther guy was who I hit with the 6, so he gets hit with 3 more. So it's actually 4. So here. 1, 2, 3,
Oh,
4.
For every 3 points for which the attack roll succeeds when additional
Yes.
fragment strikes the target.
Okay.
So that 6 cutting damage might do something.
Who is that 6 against?
The farther guy.
They are additional fragments, so it's individual DR for each, like with a shotgun. Or no, it'd be multiply the DR like a shotgun.
So DR's a bit higher.
Multiplied by the number of shots like a shotgun. Otherwise, you're doing several different injuries.
Mm-hmm. Who's the 6 against? This-
Everything after your roll of a 9 is against the farther guy, and everything before is against the closer guy.
Roydio. Koi. If we multiply in his DR, then most of that's not going to get through, but maybe we should roll
Yeah.
a location for him.
Oh, we use torso DR.
Torso DR, okay. How many shots is it? 1, 2, 3, 4.
4 on the farther guy, 3 on the closer guy.
So I only multiply his DR by 4.
Yeah.
In that case, 2 gets through. That wasn't
And he's
a number.
already injured.
He is already injured. More pain checks, which he fails terribly. Already wounded with a -1 wound. Needs to roll HT +3. He succeeds that, so it doesn't worsen. His old wound is still worse. But he's got a new one with -3. But yeah, the other one's more important.
And now he has worse pain, doesn't he?
He doesn't in this instance. The last guy's pain, the guy who's unconscious, did get worse, but this guy, it only mentions the new injury's pain. But maybe it should get worse. It probably would.
No,
go
I'm just
up, so-
wondering, is the new injury's pain worse than the other since he failed this one? I assume assuming he succeeded the
Oh.
other pain roll.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Where we at? Did you move as well, Righty?
Oh, shit, no. And that's the wrong selector.
Okay. He's gonna take a step and draw his knife. The wounded guy. Just take these red dots off people. Alright, guy with gun. He's in cover. He's gonna look up and try and see things. I don't think he can even see Archie.
Who?
Fuck's sake, Sean. He can't even see Sean. But has he seen Cody? He's not seen Cody either. So I think he's also going to just climb into the cab of the truck through the back window, or start doing that at least. While the other one closes the truck door. Yeah. Gets ready to start driving it. Sean. Oh yeah, and this guy pulls the prisoner up to his feet and drags him back. 1. Sean, sorry.
John starts moving again.
Cody.
Have they started the truck, or does it look like they're just getting ready to?
It's been running the whole time.
Roger. I think Cody's going to try to waste the steering wheel.
Go for it. That person has got one hand on the steering wheel right now.
I'm a good shot. When I'm not shooting people.
And wouldn't be a deadly attack anyways.
Yeah, so
Yeah, but it is an aimed attack against a person that's identifiable. So you don't get to do that. I don't know what the penalty is for a steering wheel, so I'm not going to include it.
oh right, yeah, it could probably like -5-ish, but wow.
All right, that'll cover it then.
You are a good shot. Fucking sharpshooter. Way to go, kid. The steering
Well,
wheel does not dodge.
I got to aim this time.
It pretty much explodes in this guy's hand. He should probably actually tech like some damage to his hand.
If there was an airbag, it definitely goes off.
Probably not. They probably
Big
took that out
if.
a long time ago.
Probably went off a long time ago.
I'll give him 1 damage to his hand. Crushing, most likely. Is it going to do anything? Let's find out. 1 crushing to the hand. Extremities. Roll for pain. It's doing something. He succeeds. Not already wounded. Minor wound. Not suffering any significant pain. But it'll still take a day to heal. You bruised his hand when the steering wheel exploded in it. It was a shit roll,
Aw.
to be fair. Kato.
So he went from slight cover to what seems like slightly less cover, since there's no windshield.
Pretty much, actually, yeah. Still technically
Okay.
a -2, though, really. Or, actually, he was briefly probably at -4, and now he's at -2.
From all that, so yeah, sure. She'll fire because it's not really gonna get much better.
You hit. Torso.
That was torso.
Roll a d6, please. Not vitals. Damage, please.
Oh no, just this thing is way too busy now.
6, impaling, torso. Check for pain. He succeeds. Not already wounded. Knockdown and stunning. That is a resounding failure by 5 or more. Severity 0 wound. Roll in to remain conscious. Succeeding, but they are in terrible pain. -6. And half move and dodge.
Probably a somewhat concerning thing for Cody to see.
Probably. Your steering
Yeah.
wheel explodes and this guy's got an arrow in him. Or a bolt.
Wait, did I do that, or did the arrow do that?
Magic
Walking
gun.
forward and grabbing one of his 2 Molotov cocktails from a cargo pouch on his leg.
Koi. Cannibal warriors. The fuck do you want? His ass, says the one who's dragging this guy, and pulls him back some more. This one in the truck, I think, is still just gonna jam his foot on the accelerator.
Oh, right. The steering wheel's on the other side.
Oh, right.
Yeah, the steering wheel's there.
Oh, that's great.
So it
I
lurches
think
forward.
the rest of us forgot that.
No, that's why I was confident that I wasn't going to shoot the ones that were sitting in the cab, because I was shooting across the cab.
This guy turns around. He's gonna see righty. He's at half move and dodge. He can only move to here. He's got a big knife though, righty, and this guy's coming right up on you at your side. Sean.
Yawn. Aim at the tire.
Forget what the penalty is, and I'm not sure what the size modifier is. The size modifier is probably 4. Maybe 5. penalty, I think, for a wheel is 3.
You know what? In that case,
Basic 554 has a vehicle hit location table.
Thank you.
Wheel is -4.
-4. So +1 overall to shoot a wheel. Actually, it's probably not SM5, is it? It's probably SM4.
oh. Yeah, let's just, instead of aiming, let's just take a shot.
Koi,
Yes!
shoot wheel. Roll damage, please.
That's better.
That's gotta be enough, I believe.
I mean, to pop a tire.
I also were wondering what wheels would be like if they use air-filled tyres even.
Probably not.
Probably not, but it's probably still enough to just damage it at least.
Well, if it doesn't do anything and they don't use air-filled tires, maybe not do that then.
Yeah,
They
maybe
could
Well,
right now.
they could
the
right now, yeah.
the material probably isn't super solid anyways. Then.
Well, no, yeah, you could definitely do enough damage to make it, suddenly off balance or whatever.
Okay.
Vehicle table. I just need a generic truck.
They're differently flimsy.
Yeah, they don't like people. I don't think I should be using conditional injury for them either. Alright. What happens when you shoot a tyre? Getting back to the vehicle hit locations. Basic 555 or 554 is where it's going to be. Body, track, rider, rotor. Where's wheel? Wheel! Damage over HP divided by 2 times number of wheels. So HP divided by 8. And its HP is like 50. So, yeah, you cripple the wheel.
Cool.
And effects are the same as for a character with an equal number of legs losing 1 leg.
If nothing else, it's now probably listing.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure it'll have a slower top speed, and it's already got a very slow top speed, so you can
Most
keep
truck-
up with it by running at the moment, probably.
Or rear-wheel drive too.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. In the dirt.
not gonna move much further at a minute. Cody, we're getting distracted. I need to set off in like 10 minutes. Getting distracted by the rules, lol.
Just leave him and go. This is your last chance. He makes an intimidate roll, but I don't actually have intimidate, so I'm not going to bother. Like his voice cracks mid intimidate.
You also just like, I don't know, broke rank pretty significantly. Do you do anything else?
No, I think no, I can't aim, so no.
Koi. Kato.
Draw.
Draw. Righty. This guy is right up on your side.
Yeah, I am going to Oh, there's not even a range penalty. Yeah, okay. So huck the unlit Molotov cocktail bottle at the guy's face.
Face
Awesome.
is -5.
At his head. It's probably still -5, isn't it?
Yeah, skull
Oh,
is
it's on the
-7.
defense. Yeah, okay. Then we're going at -5.
Also the darkness of like -4.
Okay,
It's pretty brutal.
fine. We're just throwing it at him.
Okay, just -4. Go wild if you want. You hit with it. Does it smash? Maybe. I don't know. You should actually probably roll damage, right, to see if it smashes.
I think it just says generally if there's 3 points of DR or 3 points of hardness.
Anything with
And
TR3
DR3
plus.
plus, yeah.
He's not got 3 plus DR on him.
Okay.
Bounces off.
No crushing damage.
Throw a Molotov cocktail at him, unlit. Bounces off. Lands on ground. Ground might have got more than 3 DR. I'm just gonna roll a HT check again. Nah, bottle's fine. Laying at your feet.
Someone overbuilt that bottle.
He's gonna step in and try and swing at you with his knife, and he misses terribly. You can see he's in great pain as he comes in and tries to do this slash at you. His pal is actually, he does just let go of the prisoner and runs to the side of the truck, sort of, you know what? Oh god, he just puts his hands on the side of the truck, goes to like jump up on it, does not slip and fall, I'm gonna say.
That would be the crit failure.
Yeah. This guy who's driving it, he's gonna attempt to use the broken steel. Well, the controls are damaged now.
Forwards or reversed.
Yeah, pretty much. I think he's just gonna stop the vehicle, so it'll move like one more further forward, but then stops. And that guy, does he manage to stay stood up? He does. He's still stood up, and he takes a step back. Sean.
Sean will take one step and start aiming at the guy outside of the truck.
Alrighty. Cody.
Come with this way, sir.
Isn't he hogtied?
It was just his arms. His legs are free.
Oh, okay.
Cody would have said that either way. And he'll advance a little bit, sort of pointing the rifle menacingly.
Mm-hmm. Kato. Still reloading?
Bruh.
Righty.
Readies his cane from like the leather thong that attaches it to his wrist.
Okay. You can take a step as well if you like.
Yeah, okay, I should probably take a step.
You don't have to. I'm just
No, I
saying.
should.
Okay, this guy is gonna actually take a step to the side, and he's gonna concentrate and suppress his pain for the next turn. Sean. Actually, I just missed a bunch of cannibal warriors, so
Yeah, I was gonna say that was quick.
he actually this time climbs up into the truck, or half climbs in. That guy in there is like, rolling around in pain. I think he recovers from stun though. Ow! And his pal indeed shifts it into reverse and moves one backwards. So now Sean, you're up. You lot go on backwards.
All right.
It skids slightly as it goes.
So is this guy like in
Can
the
he move
truck?
into reverse? Is it one where the is the gear shifting attached to the wheel or attached to or like in the middle?
It'd be in the middle.
I've driven a lot of trucks that have it on the wheel, like coming off the wheel.
Column.
Column.
Thank you. Yes.
This one's in the middle.
It's always so confusing when you switch from driving one that has on the column to one that's in the middle.
I can bet.
Nope, that was the wipers.
Continue aiming.
Cody.
Continue moving towards the victim.
Kato. Still reloading? Failed fast.
Grab a bolt.
Righty.
Now I'm moving forward. And just going after him with the cane.
He's gonna wail on him.
Yep.
You potentially hit. He's at half move and dodge. He's gonna spend an FP and he's gonna retreat as well. And he manages it.
That is a better fight than it should be.
It kinda is, yeah. The old guy with one arm and one leg versus the shot in the chest and shrapnelled guy. He managed to suppress his pain. He's coming in, taking a swing. He potentially hits you.
We'll do a dodge and retreat.
That is within your wheelhouse.
Nope.
Oh dear. Let's see. I believe it is swing cutting on this knife. Probably not, actually. Let's see. I'm on the page. Swing -1 cutting. So 1 cutting damage. Torso. Do you have any armor on?
I have. Yes, that does not get through the fabric of the plate carrier, much less the plate.
Congratulations. He spits. Truck's gonna continue trying to move backwards. But it actually starts skidding. Only moves 1 further back. And I'm so sorry, but I'm gonna have to call it because I gotta go pick my wife up from work.
Completely
Fair
understandable.
enough. Yeah.
So we kind of stop it in the middle here. But it's been a long time coming. I needed an easier into the role playing, but I think it's set now. I think from next week we can really get his teeth into it.
Well, thanks for running.
Sweet.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for being around. Honestly, I have missed this substantially.
Yeah.
We had
It's kind of fun playing while you're not, at wee hours of the
It's our turn.
evening
it's your turn
fresh.
now.
Like it's noticeable, like that you've had time to sleep and be awake.
Well, I'm glad for that. Alright, yeah. We had Emily. Yep. Playing Kato. Not Kato. We had Kyle.
Hey, I'm Kyle. I was playing Sean.
Sure.
You almost said Archie, didn't you?
I honestly had no idea who I was
What the
playing.
name was.
Like the
Well, we had Lee as well.
I'm Lee. I played Cody, the non-violent shooter.
No, sharpshooter. Obliterated that steering wheel. We had... And we had Colin.
Hi, I'm Colin. I play righty, and he likes things that explode.
He's alright.
Boom.
I'm sorry. Well, hopefully, yeah. I think we should be back next week at the same time with this, maybe a little bit earlier. I'm Luke the GM with a Kobold Cafe. Sit by everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye, everyone.
everyone.
Bye.